Hey, this is Kamori, and today we're going to be talking about mock-ups. A mock-up is essentially a trial or a test run of a pattern out of an inexpensive material before you go ahead and make it out of your expensive fabric. The pattern I'm going to be making a mock-up out of is the New Look 6589. I'm going to be doing view C. And I went ahead and already cut out the pattern pieces for the bodice and went ahead and ironed them because they were a little crinkled from just being folded up in the packaging. So now we'll go ahead and cut them out of a muslin. I'm using muslin because it's cheap and also because I have a lot of it left over from Yukiko. Here are the muslin pieces sewn together according to the instructions on the pattern. Notice that the edges are still raw. This is because this is just a test run of the pattern and I didn't want to spend extra time finishing the edges when this is not going to be worn. Nice thing about the mock-up is you can play around, and once you have your design sewn, you can play around with the edges. And the back of the bodice ended up being a little high for the style of garment I'm going to be making, so I went on the opposite side and just cut to create a new edge for the piece. And now I'm going to seam rip my mock-up apart, and this piece with the desired angle to it is going to be the new pattern for this garment. Mock-ups can also be used to make entirely new patterns. For this project, I'm making Lucy from Fairy Tale in her celestial dress. The front of the dress has a whole bunch of little tiny appliques. To make the patterns for these appliques, I made a mock-up of the skirt and then sketched out the designs onto the mock-up. From there, I can cut the mock-up apart and use the individual pieces as my new pattern. Now you can see how the mock-up was cut apart and used to create the pattern pieces for the finished applique design.